Crystal, Dejan, Savio, Denisha, hiding behind you, Zoroya,
Yes. Always.
you're paying, the Vincia. No particular reason, because the math is not on the front. Okay. So you see this whole pile of papers here? It tells me how many of you who didn't come to tutorial yesterday. Dante, Damien, Josh. I don't think it's papers on this. I thought we saw Kishana earlier. Oh, okay. Sierra. Forget to get the exam. Shema. Sean. Linnea. Sean. No? Marsha, not here. Nicholas. Ashanti. I didn't see Ashanti this morning. I dreamed. Simon, we see that. Katora. Refresh my memory. Anybody didn't get a paper? Samantha, you got yours yesterday, right? Yes. Okay. Anybody who didn't get a paper? We good? Okay. All right. So I want to go over for for 3076 in particular. Number 3. I'm going to come back to the other things. Number 3. Your rate sensitive assets. Your 3 months, your 1 year rate sensitive assets, your 3-month treasury bills is in there. Your fixed rate mortgages are not included. The 1 year consumer loans are included because you have to refinance at the end of the year, right? And your 20-year floating rate mortgages, that's included as well because it's a floating rate. If I said floating rate reset 2 years, then it wouldn't be included, right? But it's floating rate with no sort of limit or indication as to when they are repriced. So you would include those. So your floating, so your rate sensitive assets in this case would be 15 million. All right? In terms of the rate sensitive liabilities, person would have indicated that the book says that demand deposits are included, right? Savings deposits are included. Okay? So your savings deposits, your overnight loans payable, and your 6-month CDs are rate sensitive. I think I owe some people some marks, but in any case, I still gave you some marks. But if we're going by what the book says, then I have to include the demand deposits. All right?
So all of them?
So
all?
Huh?
Is it all?
So for me, the demand deposit shouldn't be included. So I marked those who didn't include demand deposit, you got it correct. So that's why I said I may owe some people some marks, I'm not sure. Anybody included all? No. So if you included all, then I'd have given you a blind, just simply because that's what the book says. But demand deposits are not, don't give interest. The savings deposits pay interest. Huh? Savings deposits pay interest. All right? So what I did is, even if you're, I did give you marks, you didn't get the 8 marks, but I gave you at least 2 marks, even if your calculation in the initial rate sensitive, asset rate sensitive liability was incorrect, I still would have given you at least 2 marks, I think it was, if in going through and you're doing your calculations, your formula is correct. All right? So I didn't penalize you totally. Anyways, for question 1, identify and discuss 3 benefits of technology generating revenue for financial institutions. Identify any attendant risks that may arise. So I was looking for you to tell me, to discuss efficiency, cost reduction, streamlining of processes, and even if you gave me something that I didn't have as part of my answer key that made sense, you would have gotten some marks. All right? If you didn't give me the risk, you didn't get the marks for risk, so you probably got 7, 6, 7 about there. All right? Out of 10. But for 2005, your mark scheme is a little different, and you didn't get all the same. I know 2005, I asked you for 4 risks. For 3076, I asked for 5 risks. Identify and define 5 of the risks. Provide detailed examples of 4 of the 5 risks that you identified, and how the risk can be mitigated. Now I'm going to say it again. If I'm giving you 15 and 20 marks for a question, you've got to tell me in detail. Detailed examples, all right? You don't have to use examples from the book. The examples you use and how you put them across, tell me if you understand or not. All right? So you needed 5 for 3076, you needed 5 and 4 identified and explained. Use an example. All right? I think I was lenient on that question. Some of you got more marks than you should have, but anyway. Most people got the loan concentration limit question correct. there are some persons that I think it is a little careless. So you got 0.5 and then it still goes 0.5%. You set it up correctly. How you got the calculation wrong, I don't know. So you get a mark. All right? So that's carelessness. That's how I see that. Most people had it set up. I don't think too many people got it incorrect, but you'd have lost a mark if you didn't give me the correct answer. So I believe it was that was the right? So your concentration limit. All right. What is migration analysis? The majority of the class didn't get it, but I want the person who got it to read out your answer, please. Don't be shy. I think 2 or 3 people got it. One person got it really well. Read out your answer. So what is migration analysis about? Tell us, please.
And give us the 10 points wording. So they speak about it as if they're writing for the 10 marks.
All right, so I don't remember everything off the top of my head, right? So migration analysis is a technique used by banks where they identify the credit rating of the customers, and they monitor the performance of these customers to see if their credit rating has changed, so they move them up. If their credit rating has increased, or they move them down. And then they will, as they move them up and down, they will also determine the rates that they're going to charge. That's basically it.
That's something the credit bureau would have to. Yeah.
So the credit ratings are given, so it's AAA, BBB, CCC, and you look at them going either. All right, and then you would, and then you do your allocation according to what, and your percentage charge, the interest charge according to how their ratings have changed. The rates of return on a loan with the following parameters, most people got that. It was, if you had 11% or 11.22%, you got it correct. If the financial institution had another customer with a higher level of risk, discuss the action the financial institution could take to protect itself further. And I was referring particularly to that, but I still gave the marks even if you said something else. But I was referring to the use of the loan return, all right, which is increase the risk premium, increase the compensating balance, increase the interest rate, right? Some people told me increase reserve requirement. The commercial bank does not set the reserve requirement. The reserve requirement is set by the central bank, so that would not be one of the things we would do. All right? And then, of course, persons added the 5 C's of credit and so on. You didn't get any extra marks for that. I have some papers that I forgot. I have some papers that I forgot that I had.
Yes, so wait for the
Whatever it is on the course of that, I cannot remember. I think it's 20. 20? Huh? No, yours is different. So 3076 is 20 and 2005 is less. Samantha, Katora, Dante not here, right? That's not quiz from long time. Oh, I didn't remember I had it. Okay. Alicia? No, Alicia.
Wait a minute.
You say Alicia?
Yes.
I'm not here.
It's very interesting.
Linnea. Hold on, man. Rihanna. Rihanna. Caroline. Carolina. Come to him. Yeah. You're doing that.
You have your eyes.
I don't know, they. Ariane. Sorry, it's so long waiting, but it's paid. Kishana. Yeah.
This is 5% or?
The quiz is. How many quizzes we got? I'll drop one. Then yeah.
The one that we
She can like jump all lowest one.
I'll drop the lowest one.
Yeah,
You can go through the one with yesterday. Ashanti is left. Shariah. Brianna.
Who you talking about?
Nicholas.
Doesn't mean you right carry it, but
She said Kyra. Darwin.
I get 0.
How many of you who come to the 4 o'clock tutorial can come at 3 next week? All right. So come at 3 next week.
Miss Novita, come.
No,
because the president and the specialists, they're coming. There are people that have classes at 4. So they can't take
You don't finish.
She said 5 minutes.
So everybody presented,
If we don't finish, then we finish on Wednesday. We don't have that much left. Huh? I think quizzes are like 5%, but I dropped the lowest one.
Quizzes
In total.
is
In total, I dropped the lowest one. Huh? Midterm can drop. Oh.
So then, Miss, so the project is out to 15?
Huh?
22.
Exactly, the project is 20 and the midterm is 20, it's not 40%?
So your quizzes and your participation and so on count. Hold on.
Repeat that?
No, your quizzes and so on is what will help you to get there.
Oh, if you need it.
I lost. Very lost. Let me look at the course outline. I don't remember off the top of my
It's
head.
2020, I checked.
2020.
Okay.
So,
Don't worry. You get
I
something.
think you take the midterm 15.
It's not that much. You okay? I'll do it. I'll do it. I have to fix Moodle. Huh?
I know what someone's saying.
Let me make a note, so I don't forget again. That was 3053 though. That was 3053.
I got
I
confused.
don't have a lot of 37. I won't talk. This is only my second 37.
Look at the calculation that we had to the furniture.
Just now.
The one
I
that's
got
getting
caught
different
again
calculations.
by 2:30. No.
Actually, the message this morning.
And that was a difference.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but I asked about that. She's like, no,
Oh.
she's not. But you see, you know what? I think that's the next
It's chapter 13, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Miss, I don't know how one question can answer my different answers.
Everybody has different answers.
All right, so I promised I would go over number 4, the question that you all submitted.
Amen. With the change up.
Why you change it?
I heard. I'm like,
So that means definitely need to go through it.
No, I'm going to go through it next week. It's just that if I'm not focused on this is what I'm doing, and
this is different. She just said that from
if you know how many exams I have to write, right?
You don't want to set this up for me. She teaches for me.
No, I never set up my.
But I told her she was teachers.
But yeah, you're talking about me.
Sorry. No, I was looking to you for an endorsement. So someone said that they didn't want me to set you all up to fail, so I said that I never set up my students to fail.
That's the one they said for the exam, right? The one you submitted yesterday, is that?
That's why I just asked. She don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't remember, honestly, don't remember. I actually have to pull up the exam and look at it.
So far next year.
Foreign exchange meant to be on the exam, but
What is the calculation?
Is the return not gonna?
I can't tell you the return of your
Because the whole question was.
No, honestly, everybody had different answers. Every single one.
There's not even one answer came back. Everybody.
Not even. Not even.
Working, right? You go to this is
You're torturing us. I'm torturing myself scrolling through this book. That's why I said that.
It's not even a one.
They have 5 something in it.
What?
We done something.
I understand.
I'm only gonna put in the
He wants to know. Like, who writes essays like that?
And then when they give him too much, he wants
You got marking on that?
Yeah, if they write too much, he might get on.
don't worry, it's what we see. He's got the opportunity.
I think he always gets on my bad.
Bro, you have to eat work. very tough for me to see.
That's a good essay. That's a good exam. And
On the
there's
concept.
no happening. That's the terrorism. That was the easiest one.
I written, well, I written two.
And corporate social responsibility. He's gonna ask us a question.
He just said about it.
Also, it's a trend.
Okay, so that's the question. Citibank issued 200 million of 1-year CDs.
Hola.
That one?
Yes.
What now? What will be the net return on this 200 million investment in bonds? In bonds. Okay, so
Yes, sir. You not feeling
I'd be surprised. I don't think you'd have anybody else who All right, so your 200 million of 1-year CDs in the US at a rate of 6.5%. And it invested part of this money, 100 million in the purchase of a 1-year bond issued by a US firm at a rate of 7%. The remaining
Suppose you
7% and
you trust yourself.
all right, so the exchange rate at the time of the transaction was Brazilian real, 50 cents to the dollar, okay? So what will be the net return on this 200 million investment if the bond exchange rate between the Brazilian real and the US dollar remains the same? The exchange rate. So the first thing you're going to have to do is, what is the return on the bond? There's 100 million times okay, and you get what?
7 million.
Huh? 7 million. Okay. Now they have to convert the 100 million US to Brazilian. All right. So the rate is what? 0.5.
Brazil to
Right?
US.
So how are you going to calculate that? When you convert your 100 million US to Brazilian, what you going to get?
Divided by 0.5? Oh, no, you multiply by 0.5. Multiply by 0.5.
So you're going to so you're gonna get 200 million real. All right? And you're going to invest that at 8%. So you're gonna get what?
No, multiply it.
It should be 100. It's
Oh, it should
100.
be 100. Wait, is it?
Now it come 100.
Was the tickets were split between two divided by
So
But yeah,
What's 100 times 1? What's 100 times 1?
50. 50 million.
So with this question, squash.
200 million.
This times 200 is what?
Miss, Miss, can I ask you something? The exchange rate says $1 is equal to 0.5. That's not what it says? That's what I read on the exchange rate. That's why.
Even if we, because how, I got 16, right? Is there more to this?
Yes.
Oh, well. That's no.
Alright. So, did the exchange rate change? It didn't change. So, what you're doing now is you have to find, so the return on this is 7%, alright? You convert this back into US, alright? So 16 million real is how much US? $60 million real is how much US?
Let's read that question.
It's 8
That's
times it.
possible.
So that's USD.
Just out of curiosity, if Martin saw we got to that AM. Because that's not how we got to that age, but
How you got to the
you see the word. So,
How you got to the eight?
Continue.
Let's
0.0.
times by, the 50 cents real, and we got 50 million. We times that by the interest rate.
Because-
And the
Okay, let's see what the final answer
What's the
is.
final answer?
So, what did you start, how much US you started with? Oh, just now.
this is an exam calculation.
Huh?
This I'm not exam.
I honestly do not remember what's on here. I honestly don't remember what's on here. Alright, so, okay, so when you convert it back to US, right? So I made a mistake here, but you started out with 100 million US, you converted it to real, all right? Let me change this because I'm gonna need this. When you convert that back to US now, you're gonna get
Is he sure?
$108 million, all right? So 8 minus 100 over 100. What you gonna get? Huh? Any which way you did this part, you should still get the right answer. Okay? So now,
Oh, it's
so your
100.
return,
Because if we did it on the book, because it would just do return instead of doing all of this. Yeah.
so your return is, the return on this one was 0.7. Hmm? 7.5?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I got that.
All right? Hold on. So the
It's
CD,
stressing us. I think the book is easier. The book has easier than this. But honestly, I think it's B and C people struggle more with.
No, because
Because this is 1% and everybody most people got that. With their
so
friends.
this is so
that's
this is the final answer.
no, yeah, minus. Yeah,
B and C is what everybody got different.
okay? So what will be the net return on the 200 million investment if the exchange rate changes to real 0.4167? Okay, so you're gonna do the 216. You're gonna do the 216 times 0.4.
167.
Right? So, if it's I don't want to round up, that's right. So somebody did tell me the,
Nobody did that.
you didn't do it? You didn't even try?
We
We
did.
tried,
But
because
we
we
didn't
had
answer
to
it right.
yeah, we had to start with something.
Seven, 200. Give me this right one.
Anybody got that? Anybody got B? No, right?
I think it's a green, and we just wanna squash this one.
No, but you still need to understand
Yes,
it.
no problem, squash it.
What does that mean? We can go over it again? We can go over it again?
Next week, revision.
So, hold on. So the steps, you have to convert the US to real, right? You get the return on that, and then you convert it back to US. After you've converted it back to US, that is when you look for the return. You calculate the return on the real. And then, because it's 50 cents real to $1 US.
Yes, okay. You can give another example. Like,
50 cents real to $1 US.
let's say I have $500 then. I want to convert it. Can you do it on both for me? Yeah, possibly.
500 US to real or 500 real to US.
I guess 500 US to real.
So then if you're doing the US to real, then you have to do real.
But no, it's the same thing. Isn't that this what it says here? That's what it says in the example, right?
500 US is going to give you how much real?
Apparently, you tell me 1,000. But it says 50 cents to $1 US.
No.
That's what it says,
50 cents real to $1 US.
right? Can still connect.
That's why we're confused.
They say US is more than, right?
Because you're in
So
the
what
US.
So, miss, okay, so when it say be multiplied,
So divided by,
this is what I'm saying, so.
Multiplied by
no,
0.5.
It would be no 100 in the Brazilian multiplied by the 50 cents, or would it be divided? This is what I'm confused.
we're saying that the US is more than the
Right, the
real.
US is more, yes.
US is more than EC. Let's say EC. US is more than EC, right? So if you convert 100 US to EC, we get more money, right?
We get more.
More EC. To say like the Brazilian, you convert things to get more. Yeah. But it's just
They
too
gave
good.
you the rate. You are working in US dollars, and they gave you the rates. The US is your reference currency.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, to be honest. Makes sense. But when I read this,
US reference currency.
Half as much. The real is half as much, basically.
Because here's why the US is the reference currency. Because you're in the US doing this transaction. So it's 50 cents real is what you're going to get.
Okay, Lord have mercy. Lord.
Gonna get less in the US. Because your reference currency is US. All right, so if the real change to 0.65, 625, when you convert in the US to real, what you're gonna do?
So it's 206 million times 0.4167. Is that it?
So it's 216
Yeah.
times
So what? 625? Okay. Times 0.65.
So in this one, you're gonna, the 216 times your 0.625,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
you get 135. Alright? So then you're gonna go 135 million minus 100 million. What you gonna get? Okay. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna say 0.5 times 0.07 plus 0.5 times 0.5.
It's 40.
Alright, so
So it is
so is it fair to say I know even bother to market?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do a little crossword.
You can go.
Maybe if we need it.
No, I need it.
No, not that. I mean, like, she can give us something else if we need it.
I need it.
I'm tired.
That's a good question.
Give us a crossword.
You see, it was easy, come to tutorials regularly. And
Miss, that's not true, because I've been going to yeah, exactly, that's not true. We've been going to tutorials, and that one was the money.
I know,
And the book.
So, Miss, please have a little mercy on us, Jack. I know, but then if that's the case, we need to go over it a little bit more, because Miss, I know she's on that one.
Miss, can I ask you a question? Does the 0.065, where does that come from? Okay, now we get it. Interest rate. That was the one figure.